Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to take a little breather and we'll do a simple edit of one of my models so that we can at least consolidate on everything we have learned so far. After that, we can continue learning our tools. So for that, I would like to go to my file, open, and come down here to this image and open it. Now, good, it is open. The first thing you do, duplicate your image, Ctrl J, or you hold on to the background layer and drag it down to this icon with a plus in the middle. As you can see. So first off, looking at this image, personally I feel I need to increase the brightness of this image. As it is, it came as was shot on the camera, and I believe I need a little more light in the exposure. So I would come to this part of my bar of my display page and click on adjustments. Then if you bring your cursor here, you will see brightness and contrast, levels, curves, exposure, vibrance, and so on and so forth. I'm coming to exposure because this image is fresh off the camera and I think I need a little more light in this exposure, so I'm going to come to exposure and just pump it up a little bit. You don't overdo it because it has very strong reactions when you pull the slider. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. You can see the picture is blowing out, so we don't need this, except that's what you're going for, but we're not going for this. So I just need a little bit more light. Yeah, I think this is good for me. I don't want any of the things in the image to blow out. So I'll click back on my layer. Then what else? I've given it more light, but I can, because the background is of a lighter color than my subject, it looks like the background is brighter than the subject, and I don't want that. I want my subject to also pop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to select. I'll click on select, then I'll come down to subject, click on subject, and then Photoshop is going to select my, okay, and there we have it. Photoshop has selected my subject for me. If you remember, you can also do that by coming here, yeah, and object selection, quick selection tool, like I taught you before. Whether you do that or you just use select and come down to subject, this is going to select the subject for you, then you can correct as needed. So I'm feeling a little bit lazy today. I don't want to do it by hand. I think Photoshop has done a good job with the selection of this model for us this morning. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to come back to the adjustments tab and click on brightness and contrast because I want to brighten my subject a little bit. So I'm just going to come here and bump the brightness up a bit. So as you can see, we have brightened our subjects a little bit. Yeah, I've brightened them up a little bit. So So that done, I'm looking at the picture and I feel my subject is brighter, but I feel I want the skin tone to become a little bit more brighter than his clothing. So what I can do is go back to our layer panel. Okay, let's drag it up. Yeah. So now I'll click on my layer panel, then I'm going to come here. I think it's already selected, and I'm going to select this face only. Go to minus, remove this part because I'm only trying to target the skin. So I'm going to remove this part. Yeah. Then I'll go back to addition and select his arms. It's done too much. Minus to remove this part. Just want the skin to just get selected. No other thing. Okay. Alright. So good. We have a rough selection of his face and his hands, and that is what we are going to try and brighten, so that at least it is at par with his clothing. So we're going to come back to brightness still and bump it up a little bit until you are satisfied. You know, all these things are by eye. You push it up until you are satisfied with whatever it is that you're seeing. I think I'm good this way. Yeah. So as you can see, the face and the arms are now at par with the shirt. No one is brighter than the other. The background too is coordinating itself and being cooperative with the whole process. So I think we are good. Now what else can we do to this picture? I think what I'm going to do is, let me come here and just reduce the crop a little bit. I have a little bit too much head space here. I'm going to just click and drag just to bring it down a little bit. If I pull this one up too, I don't know. Let's just try it for trying sake. Let me bring this one up just under his right elbow. And click OK. Alright. So this is what we are working with now. Now, you know we have used brightness a lot, but we have not touched the other part. To me it's now bright, but I think we need a little bit of contrast, you know, to pull everything in together. We might decide we want to use some of this that we already used. We have a brightness on the subject and the skin. Use brightness and contrast on the skin, on the subject. I think okay, yeah, we did. So, but I want this thing I'm going to do now to affect the whole image, not just a part of the image. So I'll come back here, go back to adjustments, click brightness and contrast again, and just come down to only contrast. I want to contrast the whole image, so let's just push it. Can you see what is happening? Now there's a bit of contrast. The image is popping out, you know, it's not just blended with the background. Let me take it down to the edge and see what happens. You can see, but it's too much. It's not what we want. We just want a little bit of contrast so that the image separates from the background more. Okay, let me just leave it at 10. Yeah, I think I feel good with what I'm saying. What else can we do? Okay, now while I was taking this picture, because when you are editing, you need to have an endpoint. What do you want to see? You saw the client, like I saw the client, and I know for sure that it has lighter skin tones than what I'm seeing right now. So in a bid not to make him darker than he already is, I might decide that, okay, let me bump the skin tone up to how it was before I took the shot. So to do that, I'm going to use another tool on this adjustment scale, which is called the hue and saturation tool. Is it here? So let's click it. You see this finger pointing here? Let's click on it. It's going to become an eyedropper tool, you can see. And we're going to use this eyedropper tool to click on any color we want to modify. And because I want to bump up the skin tone, to make it as light as it was when I was shooting, I'm going to click anywhere on the skin. So let's click here. You will see what happened was that immediately I clicked, this changed to red. Yeah, it was formerly in master. Let's do that again. So formerly in master, when I bring it here and click, it changes to red. So now you now come to saturation. You want to saturate the skin tone. Let me push it to the base. Let me push it up. You can see what's happening, but we don't need that, so I'm going to bring it back down. Just need to push it up a little bit, just so it correlates to what I had while I was doing the shooting. So I think I'm okay with this. So okay, let's say the eyedropper to bump up the skin. I want to still bump the blues in the image. I'm going to bring it here. Click on this. You can change to cyan, and I'm going to also increase the color of the cyan. You can see as I'm pushing it up, it's increasing, but you don't want to push it up too much because it's going to bleed onto the other parts of the shirt, as you can see. So you just jack it up a little to make the cyans pop more. Yeah, I think we're okay like this. Then lest to forget, we have to come to our client's face. As you can see, we have some pimples and acne that we need to remove, and to do that, you guessed right, we're coming to the spot painting tool. Spot painting. Yeah, so when you want to remove a pimple from the subject's face, make sure that your brush, this circle that you see here, move it around, covers the whole pimple. Make sure it encompasses it totally before you click, so that you can do a good job. So I'm going to start removing the blemishes on the face one by one. If you want to increase or decrease this brush, you either come up here, yeah, and drag the size of the brush, or the shortcut is to click on your bracket keys on your keyboard. Close will increase, open will decrease. Let me just show you. Close bracket, open bracket. So depending on what you want, if you find bigger blemishes, increase, smaller ones, decrease. Just make sure the blemish is surrounded totally by your brush before you click, or else it's going to leave imperfections on the corrections for you. Sometimes you can also drag instead of hovering over the blemish and clicking. You could also drag. It's permitted too. Like we have 1, 2, 3 here. I can drag from here, as you can see. If you are feeling too impatient, you can drag. If you have a lot of blemishes and they are on the same line, they are in a cluster close to each other, you can drag. But I think it's better to do it one by one, so that you limit mistakes, because mistakes do happen when you drag a lot. You introduce things that are not supposed to be there, things from other parts of the skin that are not supposed to be found on another part. You introduce them when you drag. So let's just do it one by one. So as you can see, we have tried. We have removed his acne. Oh, okay, still have some here. Okay, and that is that for that. The only other thing I can say we should do, because it's just a simple edit, the only other thing is to make the blacks blacker. You know, if you want a darker mood on the picture, you want to make sure that things that are supposed to be black are black. So for this, you also come to adjustments. We come down here to create a new selective color adjustment layer. Click on it. You come to the colors bar here. You click and you see a drop down. We are going to black. And come down to black and just bump it up. Let me take it to the end and you see what's happening. You can see. So it's creating more contrasts, but that is too much. So let's just pump it up a bit. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Cool. Now let's say I feel my whites are not looking too white. I can still come back to the white here. I'm not feeling too white. Feel they have a little yellow in them. Come here and reduce the yellows in your whites. You can see what is happening to the background here. Just look at the colors. As I'm bringing the yellows down from my whites, you can see the change in hue. So that's what this does. If you have a little yellow thing that is trying to interface with your whites, you can come here and just push it back a little bit and leave it. So yes, this is a simple edit, and as far as I'm concerned, we are done. If you like this presentation, click the subscribe button below and follow for more. Thank you.